fast here.
Idle chit chat. Got anything before we?
Yeah, I do. I caught myself softening as a human being last night. Hold on a second.
You caught yourself softening.
Oh God, it was a.
Now this is where could this go?
Okay,
where could this possibly
so
go?
here's what's happened. Okay, we took Anna, granddaughter, 8-year-old, and Alex, grandson, 16, 17, however the hell old he is. We went to Village Inn. Went to Village Inn. Okay, and it was beautiful. And it's a little paradise on a cold night, right? But I'm sitting there with Anna. Anna's sitting next to me. Now, and remember, I told you I caught myself softening. Anna's sitting there, and you just have your routine idle chit chat.
Mm-hmm.
And part of our idle chit chat, sponsored by
Newton's Lawn Care.
Actually, if it's with Anna in Village Inn, I don't know if Newton's wants to sponsor. But me and Anna are having idle chit chat, and I said, "How was school today?" And she said, "I didn't go. Sick." I said, "Anna, how sick are you? You're sitting right here. We're eating pancakes, and you're mowing them." What
was the response?
She said, "I feel better now." And here's where I caught myself softening. I said, "Yeah, I suppose everybody needs to take a day to regroup sometime."
Oh boy.
Oh God. And I did. I didn't say anything. I've succumbed.
You've softened.
I've succumbed to the world.
Well, yeah, it's about time. 56 years old. It finally got to you. It finally got to
Everybody needs a day to regroup sometimes. God, what the hell happened? What happened?
Did you catch yourself and say, what did I just say?
I caught myself when I was driving home.
You're like, did I seriously say
when
that?
I was driving home.
Do I mean that, or did I just say that?
I mean, you know how the thought process goes, like, oh, Anna didn't go to school today, but I took her to eat. Is that bad? Should I have said, no, we're not going? Or it was too late because I didn't know she skipped school. We were already sitting in Village Inn when she said it. Everybody needs a day to regroup. Do you need a day to regroup sometime?
That's what the weekends are for. Yeah. And you know
yeah,
what?
That's right.
I do regroup. I attack the
Did
weekends.
you regroup?
And then sometimes I'm tired on Mondays, but I come through anyways.
Then you regroup.
Yeah, that's right. During the day.
Is that bad? Did I soften? I think it's kind of bad.
It's kind of soft.
There's no way. I mean, I came from a world where if you miss school, you weren't going to Village Inn with Grandpa.
You were locking yourself in the bedroom, right? Or the bathroom.
I just know what my dad would have said to that. What? You didn't go to school. You're not going anywhere. You're not going to frickin' Village Inn.
You're not going to celebrate you missing school.
Right.
Clown. He calls his son a clown. Yeah.
Right. All right. We got to get to Donovan.
That's sponsored by Newton's Lawn Care.
Newton's Lawn
Contact them for a free quote for a 2023 lawn fertilizer program. Call 402-440-6297. Newton's Lawn Care. The news of last night that sent a shiver down people's spines in the state.
Oh, did it?
A collective shiver.
Did it?
Now, I tend to just trust what Matt Rhule is doing. I trust Matt Rhule.
Okay.
Maybe that's naive, but I'm just going to do it. However, there was a scoop off that happened last night between Husker Online and Football Scoop.
Yep.
Football Scoop, we'll start with them, was reporting that John Garrison was probably on the way back to be Nebraska's offensive line coach, who was successful here.
John Garrison
is now at NC State.
John Garrison, former captain.
Right.
What year? What do you remember? What grade?
Early 2000s.
Hate when I do this, when I ask questions.
I don't know for sure.
We'll look it up.
Okay.
Josh, hit that.
John Garrison.
John Garrison year. He was a captain.
He played at Nebraska.
Anyway, scoop off. Go.
So
scoop off.
About the same time, Sean Callahan and you and Husker Online were reporting that, no, it sounds like Donovan Rhule is going to be staying at Nebraska. So you had a lot of people saying, we hope that on this one, Football Scoop is right. However,
scoop off.
They soon thereafter, after putting out John Garrison was going to be the guy, said, we've got some bad information. By the way, John Garrison, 99 to 02 at Nebraska. Thank you, Josh. Football Scoop says, hang on, we got bad info. It does sound like Donovan Rhule will be indeed the offensive line coach at Nebraska. So at that point, when you had people saying, all right, let's bring back Garrison, this is what we want, the shiver went down the spine thinking that Donovan Raiola is likely staying on the staff for next season.
Maybe it was just cold outside.
No, I think that was a shiver down the spine.
Well, here's what I'd say to it. If you're trying to, explain why it's happening, why it appears to be happening, and nothing's official with Donovan Raiola.
It's not done.
But Sean's reporting, Sean Callahan, and we'll talk to him here.
We will talk to him in 20 minutes.
That Donovan made calls to linemen, and also Sean heard it from a couple other sources. Now, before you go too far down the road of questioning the hire, or not even questioning it, just saying bad hire, before you go too far down that road, think about something. Does the word continuity mean anything to you? Continuity. These kids, maybe their best chance, Jake, is to have the same coach again. Instead of these guys, once again, okay, these guys who have struggled, this line that has struggled, going through their third offensive line coach, third way of teaching. Jake, you know that techniques change. These guys come in and have their own way of doing things. I don't know. I think continuity might be your best hope and experience.
Well,
continuity.
So let's pause there. Then.
No, I'm not pausing. Continuity. I'm regrouping. Continuity and experience.
Well, John Garrison has recruited a lot in his time as a coach. Raiola came to Nebraska from the Chicago Bears. People sort of say, well, there's a recruiting advantage built in.
Stop with the recruiting
for
thing. It's just
John
NIL.
Garrison.
Stop. Outdated discussion. Not as meaningful as it used to be.
John Garrison helped develop a couple good offensive linemen to the NFL the past couple years at NC State. Nebraska last year had major issues on the offensive line.
I have no problem if they hired John Garrison. None. But
would you call an upgrade?
I don't know. How would I know? Well, I mean, you have on your side the fact the basis of your argument is you're assuming an upgrade with Garrison. What can I say about that? I mean, there's nothing.
John Garrison did a good job with the NC State offensive line.
But you're assuming he would come in at Nebraska and it would go well. When, again, it's a new guy coming in. He'd be the third. Now, it's very possible that Rhule looked at it exactly the way I'm looking at it. These guys have struggled. Now we're going to put a third offensive line coach in front of them. I'm staying with. We need some continuity in that room. These guys are coming back a lot. I mean, come on, who's coming back? Ben Hart. Do I need to look at the depth chart? Hold on, I'll do it.
Turner Corcoran
back. Ethan Piper back. Bryce Benhart back. I mean, I probably get Hunter.
Teddy Prohaska.
Let's
see how his injury is when he comes back.
Teddy Prohaska back. You're going to get Williams has applied for.
You're getting hammered right now on the text line, by the way.
Well, I'm taking the unpopular stance, which I don't like. You lick my finger and put it in the wind and see where people are going.
Well, I'm not saying that, but I think
you took
John Garrison was
great. Hey, congratulations, Jake. You took the very, obvious. This is the no. Of course, you're taking.
What's wrong with obvious if it looks like he's a better coach? What's wrong with obvious?
I get. I don't
understand what's wrong with obvious.
What? Of course, I'm getting hammered. Donovan Raiola's getting hammered. It's because it's brainless to say brainless. John Garrison would be better. You don't know that. You don't have no idea about John Garrison as a coach.
He has been here
before.
You
have zero idea.
He has been here before.
You have zero idea how he coaches.
Has he been here before?
Oh, tell me how he coaches. Tell me one
I don't know,
thing.
But I know that when he was here, his teams with Bo Pelini also, not the offensive line, but they won 9 games every year.
Oh, and you ran him out the door too.
Well, you keep hammering for what I did 8 years ago, which I was not a part of firing anybody. I had a conversation with
you. Wanted the staff out, and now you're begging him to be back.
I don't know why you go back to the past and try to slap people in the face.
Because you ran guys out the door.
Because people made mistakes. We were dumb. We didn't know better at that point, apparently, where this could go to. You need your coffee over there.
I don't need it. It's hypocritical.
You're talking to me about me 8 years ago, and I was an idiot back then.
It's hypocritical as hell. You wanted that staff gone. Now you're using it to fire other guys. My God. I mean, this place eats itself. It eats itself. 8 years ago, you wanted that staff gone. Now you're using that staff to run other guys out. Wow, beautiful. Beautiful.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, this is very controversial.
Like, are you that confident that Rhule is the right
No,
guy?
I'm not.
Let's stop right there.
No, I'm not. I'm just making an argument of why Rhule might be doing it. The text line and you are attacking me. I didn't make this decision. I didn't make this decision. Hey, why don't you say something about Matt Rhule? You won't do that either.
Well, I said this is.
Why don't you take your anger to Matt Rhule? Go.
I think some people are.
You go ahead.
I think some people are saying that this is a bad move by Matt Rhule. Now,
why don't you say that?
Because I don't know yet.
Oh, you don't know yet.
Because I reserve judgment because he hasn't coached a game here yet.
Oh, okay.
Rhule has been here for 12 games. He coached 12 games at Nebraska as an offensive line coach.
Right out of this.
I'm not weaseling. How can I attack the coach before I see how it looks?
So you're not going to say bad hire?
I'm going to say questionable hire.
Okay.
For Rhule.
For Rhule.
No, I'm confident in Matt Rhule.
But you're saying Rhule's making a questionable hire.
I said I'm questioning it, but I'm not going to say it's just bad before I see what happens here.
Okay. Well, I'm not either. We're not really on a different page.
Sounds like we are, though.
No, I'm not. I'm questioning it, but I'm trying to make sense of it. And I'm sure the hell not just going to say Garrison's better no matter what when I have no idea. Right? I'm not doing that. I don't know what Garrison's about. I'm not going to just say he's going to come in and automatically be better.
The problem is that Garrison is
having
success at NC State.
For the text line, don't attack me. I didn't hire Donovan Raiola.
The problem is that you're seeing Garrison has had success at NC State.
This is fun, by the way. This is fun.
Is it fun?
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm right.
Because you're right about what? What exactly are you right about?
You ran a bunch
What are you right about?
You ran a bunch of dudes out of here. Now you use those
you
same guys.
Criticizing people from 8 years ago decision made and punishing them now 8 years later, saying you did this back then.
It's just a prime example of how this place eats itself. It's a prime example of how this place eats itself. Using a staff that you ran out the door to as the reason why you should run this staff out the door.
Texter says this. So people can't admit they were wrong and admit they made a mistake. See, what's wrong with that? I can't admit that I was wrong in the past or people were wrong.
Yeah.
Why are we stuck to our decision saying that's that you said you can't admit?
That's why we're here. It's why we're here. It's why we're here.
There's no caller there, Josh. He's gone.
It's why we're here. That's why we're here. Big reason. Now we're doing it again. We don't learn.
The other Kristen Lincoln says, this is not fun. It's annoying.
It's fun.
Not for me. I disagree. This isn't very fun to me.
I think the wrong person's getting attacked here is what I think.
I should be getting attacked.
No, Matt Rhule. You will attack me for defending Matt Rhule, but you won't say anything about Matt Rhule.
Because Matt Rhule has not coached a football game here yet.
I'm not making this hire, Jake. I'm trying to explain why he might have did it.
Let's say you're the head coach right now.
Yeah.
Would you hire John Garrison or Donovan Raiola if they both had interest?
I don't know. I'd have to interview.
One has a lot of college coaching experience, which you can say all you want about NIL. It's fine. I'm seeing a guy that just really helped develop a couple good offensive linemen to the NFL.
I was trying to do is explain why Rhule might have hired him. Donovan.
Randy says you're putting words in Jake's mouth. You are.
What?
And you're speaking for me from 8 years ago, which again.
You didn't want that staff out of here?
Well, as you look back, if you listen, we're allowed to look back in time.
I'm just asking you a question. Did you want that staff out of here?
I think there was some frustration, but obviously we were wrong on some of that stuff. I think
now you want them back.
It's fine to admit that you made mistakes.
Now you want them back.
That's called life. You admit you make mistakes. You can lament them or move on and realize, hey, I was wrong.
Especially if it fits your argument, right? Especially if it fits the narrative, right?
I'm not sure what's going on over there.
No, obviously it's questionable. Obviously. I mean, they didn't have a good year up front. But again, can't you understand the way I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of Matt Rhule. Maybe he looked at it and said, continuity. We need continuity. We can't put a third guy in front of these sophomores and juniors.
I think you probably could if you believe he's the right guy.
Well,
if you think you have a guy, if Matt Rhule did a good job developing in the trenches in his time at Baylor and at Temple, then Nebraska fans ideally want that guy because, hey, the offensive line, I know it was 1 year for Rhule, but it didn't exactly look great last year.
This is a silly argument, too, because you don't even know that John Garrison was one of the 4 guys considered. There's 4 guys. There's 3 others that were considered besides Rhule. I'm not even sure Garrison was considered.
Well, we have a report that says that he was interested.
A report that was deleted. But
it gave people
and found
hope
to be wrong.
Be the guy.
And found to be wrong. So I don't even know what we're arguing. Who are the other guys?
I don't know the other
Obviously,
guys.
Matt
Rhule.
Matt Rhule looked at 3 other guys and determined that Donovan Rhule was the guy. So why are you attacking me on this? Matt Rhule interviewed 3 other guys besides Donovan Rhule.
I'm attacking you for attacking me.
Determined that Donovan Rhule was the guy, and it's my issue. No, it's not.
I'm attacking you.
Go ahead.
No,
you're not.
Me.
No, you're not.
I didn't make the hire either.
You won't do it. You just won't. You won't say anything bad about Rhule.
Newt says this. How about this? Newt says, Sip is saying this place eats itself while encouraging us to point the finger at Matt Rhule before his coach game. That's eating yourself.
Why is the criticism geared toward me? Why is it geared toward Donovan? He didn't hire himself.
Because you're criticizing people that are criticizing the move. If that's what happens, who have seen an offensive line that didn't look great last year.
Donovan Rhule didn't hire himself. Who hired him? Who hired
Scott Frost did.
No, who hired Donovan Rhule last night? Apparently,
Matt Rhule.
Okay,
rehired him, kept him, retained him.
Okay, he interviewed 3 other guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who'd he pick?
Apparently, it's not official, but apparently, Donovan Rhule. Okay. Apparently. Now, guess what's going to happen?
All I tried to do is come to the show and say this is maybe why he did it, and I'm the one criticized. That's interesting.
You're doing it in a criticizing tone. Matter.
Oh, I know. I mean, they backed me into a corner over something I didn't even pick. I don't make the hires.
Sip is the only one attacking anyone this morning. He's vicious right now.
Yeah, I am.
Why?
Because it's a hot button issue. It's a hot button issue.
Do you understand why fans are not exactly ecstatic if this is true that he's being retained?
Yes, totally understand.
Okay.
Totally understand.
We get that.
Yeah.
The O-line was a problem all year. Did it get better during the year?
Well, I mean, he walked into a pretty tough situation.
Did it get better during the – I could tell you the defense got better during the year. With Bill Bush.
What did the last game look like to you?
Better.
There's your answer.
But that's one game. They like better against, they didn't run the ball that well.
They never ran the ball very well.
Right. That's offensive line.
Did they try to run
remember a conversation the first 5 games? Anthony Grant was making something out of nothing. He was getting tackled the moment he got hit. Got the ball.
They tried to run the ball.
And Anthony Grant had a good first 5 games despite getting hit right when he got the ball, basically.
Well, once again, I'm not defending Donovan Rhule. You're putting me in a position where I have to, but I'm not. It's a questionable hire.
So now you're admitting that.
I admitted it right out of the gate. I just was trying
to decide to defend him.
No,
and attack people that ran people out of the building.
Yeah.
Attack people that.
Yeah, I am. That's what I'll continue to do. That's what I'll continue to do. Because you didn't want John Garrison. Now you're using him as the reason.
I just don't think it's fair or right to attack people for a decision made 8 years ago.
I do.
I don't think that's right.
I do think it's okay. It's because we're in this mess. That's why we're in this mess.
But you're not allowing people to revise what happened and say, you know what, we were wrong. You're not allowing people to admit that they are wrong on things. Now, if there's people that stand by it, then you can attack them and say, yeah, that was the right decision. You can attack those people saying, yeah, it was right.
No.
But if somebody out there says, hey, you know what, we were wrong, looking back at that, we were wrong.
It's just
that's not fair to them.
You don't even know that Garrison was considered. That's the other thing.
It's just there's a report out there.
Deleted report.
But it was reported. Deleted because they were wrong. They got something wrong there. We've got a call from Vince, I believe. I think we got 2 names up there. I think we got Vince. Vince, are you there? You're on early break. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm here, fellas. Good morning. How are you?
Vince, Are you on vacation?
Not until next week.
Oh, okay.
But that will be my week to regroup, Sip.
Yeah, regroup. yeah, regroup.
Yeah, but I have a small idle chit chat, and then I have to take on what
Okay,
that
get 'em.
you guys are
Go.
talking about.
Yes.
Now, first of all, the small idle chit chat. So I was talking to my boss one day, and so I told him how I told him how I got my second COVID vaccine the day after my 50th birthday, and I told him, I go, well, the reason I did it then is because I was on vacation that week, and that way, if it put me on my rear end, I wouldn't have to worry about missing work. And then he goes, you think the total opposite of what most people do, because our company, any surplus of sick days that you have over 30 at the end of the year, you get paid out. So right now I have an extra 7. So I told him, I go, you know what? Unless I get the vid, you guys are going to be paying me sick time at the end of the year.
Wow. Wow.
So anyhow, there's that. But as far as the conversation with Donovan Rhule, I'm pretty lukewarm about it. I'm not sure how I feel about it just yet, but I think one thing that a couple things really that people need to understand is that our offensive line problems, they've been happening long before he got here. And because for one, it's been a recruiting problem. It's been a development problem. I mean, I've said this before. I think really the previous 2 coaching staffs focused a little bit too much on the recruitment of skill position and not enough on offensive line play. And that's kind of why we're in this predicament, because what this line needs, obviously it needs development, but also we need bodies, we need depth, and that starts with, getting a lot of guys in, that way. And then you get back to that development process. But, and I think the other part of the problem recently is that there's been just kind of a conflicting mindset of, okay, you've got one side that thinks we need to get back to being a physical team, which I believe we do need to get back to being. And also this approach of wanting to throw the ball like what Coach Whipple wanted, like what Coach Riley wanted even previous to that. So I think it also, in these quote unquote reports, how much of that is conjecture and how much of that is reality? And it also doesn't explain, which ones were truly available and which ones are truly upgrades. And with offensive lines, what constitutes an upgrade is kind of subjective. But I'll tell you so, fellas, Tip, Jake, listening to you guys this morning, it fits one phrase. It fits one phrase that I utter very frequently on this show. So you guys ought to do? I want to see you guys get the pads on and look at each other and say, if we can't get along, we might as well get it on.
We're getting
pads in here.
We're getting it on.
We're throwing the pads
We're getting
in here. Thank you, Vince.
We're getting it. Do we have Jeremy on the line?
Nope, Jeremy's not there. Wipe those grease boards off, Josh. If we get all the callers that go on.
Yeah. I made a controversial hire.
You did?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. We'll talk
it's
more
controversial because you're defending it. That's why.
Well, I'm trying to look for reasons why the hire is being made.
Is there any chance that they believe they have a chance with Dylan still and that it's part of this?
Well, sure.
Because many would say that was a reason why they hired Donovan in the first place.
That's part of this.
Is this still like, hey, do we have a chance
well,
at Dylan?
Of course. Ryan Day. Now, it helped Ryan Day to get in the playoff, but what if Ryan Day's Ohio State Buckeyes get hammered by Georgia? What if they get, and they could, by the way, and he decides, he referred to Ohio State the other day as this place. That's never a good sign. When the head coach is saying this place expects this. Last year, there were those rumors of Trace Armstrong, his agent, going to the front office of the Bears and Day being part of the package. Maybe Day would go off to the NFL, and then what would Dylan Raiola's commitment to Ohio State be?
But if that's again, that's an assumption. That's the reason why you're retaining.
Criticize me for that too. That's not.
I would say that if any of this retaining of Donovan is because of Dylan, that's a mistake in terms of keeping a coach. It's all about how do you get the
you're
line
right.
better.
I made a mistake.
As John DeMoine said before we go to break, he says, since the offensive line was widely considered the worst position group on the team, it seems worth questioning the head coach on why the offensive line coach was retained.
And me.
And you.
Yeah. You will not question
so.
the head coach, but you will question me because I made the hire. I didn't, Jake, I didn't make this hire. Do you understand that?
Yes.